I just wanted to try something different. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it's like when I scan my watch list and kind of what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to go down all the projects, coins, tokens I have in my watch list, and I may or may not say something about them. If anything jumps out, I will mention it. I'm going to do it here in the 12-hour chart. We just had a 12-hour candle complete, so that gives us full information. I have ADA right up. I actually like ADA right here, guys. We can see kind of a double bottom forming, and I've marked from some of my other shows, that I've done, especially on YouTube, that these prior highs here from the middle of September, we're kind of closing now above that on some really nice loading volume here. So I like ADA in the short term, guys. I would definitely take a look at that. So let's just keep scrolling down. I just hit the down button here on my keyboard. I'm using TradingView. I have this big master watch list. Okay, this looks okay. What is it? AION. We're getting some higher lows here, tightening range. I can see the Bollinger's pinching. This one looks okay. I'd probably keep an eye on that. Okay, this one had a little pump recently. All right, that looks all right. But I'm looking for something that's bottoming and maybe going to bounce. Just going to keep going through. All right. Nothing special here. Trading below resistance. AST looks like this is holding support. This one looks okay. On balance volume is pretty good. This one actually looks decent here. AST. So I'm just going to make a note. Actually, I definitely like ADA. AST looks pretty good. BAT. See BAT, you can see BAT's weak. See the on balance volume is weak. So, but you're in a key level here. I think we have this highlighted from before. So see if that can hold. Bitcoin Cash. Bullish divergence. RSI, we're waiting to see the follow through in the price. Bitcoin Diamond. This is a weird little chart. Not a lot of volume. We can kind of ignore that. Also the Bitcoin Cash chart. Still the same bullish divergence. Let's see here. Actually, I have 3 Bitcoin Cashes in my watch list, so I'll have to clean that up. Next is, let's see, BCN. Not a ton of volume, but we do have higher lows. Looks pretty weak. So I'm not that interested. BNB, kind of a counter usually to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's in a bear market, this thing really moves. Looks like I had a single and a double bottom, and we're kind of almost like a triple bottom here. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Look at that on balance volume. So that's bullish. The fact that Binance Coin looks bullish to me is actually sort of bearish for Bitcoin. This definitely looks bullish. This is a great example of a setup we should be looking for. Look at this bullish divergence in the on balance volume. Look at these higher lows, and look at this right here. So BNB looks good, which probably that's not good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin 12-hour, which still looks okay though. You're still holding your higher lows, but you have lower highs. Something's going to have to give. We have plenty of resistance if this thing is going to push. And of course we had this volatility candle here recently, $400, $500 swing. Cloak, not that interesting. CND clearly at a pump. Evening Star reversal. Look at those upper shadows. This is something worth watching, especially if the price can hold here. Middle channel, guys. And you see how it's an area of recent resistance, now support. So this actually looks kind of pretty decent as well. Let's keep going to Dash. Dash, a nice bullish consolidation, upward, higher lows, higher highs. This is clearly bullish. On balance volume is pretty good. This one, has some more room to go here. We'll have to keep an eye, but definitely worth watching. I think this one looks like a mid-channel bullish move. This looks certainly weak. Okay, DCR, meh. It looks okay. Something definitely does jump out to me though. and should jump out to you. If you look at the volume candles, you can see how in the last few days we've had a lot of this loading here. So that does get my attention actually. We've seen this kind of spike in the on balance volume. This one also is worth watching. I like it actually. So you can see a mid-channel RSI, room to run. You see kind of right as support. If you draw an uptrend line in the stochastics RSI, this kind of looks like this could be setting up. I do like that. DCR. DGB looks kind of weak. It's trading below resistance. Kind of a double bottom here in DGD. On balance volume is starting to recover. This one looks decent. DGD definitely looks decent. Nothing going on DNT, no volume, not interesting. Of course, Dogecoin. ELF rather. You skip right over Dogecoin. Let's go to Dogecoin. Dogecoin. What do you think, guys? Maybe like a top pattern, head and shoulders. On balance volume is strong, so that suggests possible continuation. And this would be a reasonable level, logical support level to hold if the price can hold here. But you know, once momentum shifts back, these charts a lot of time they really give back most of the move. So it could definitely go back to like, you know, that level 50 Satoshi. I mean, who knows? So let's keep going. ELF. ELF is weak. ELF is weak. We don't have higher lows yet. We lost our low there. ELF looks a little too weak for me. ENG, it's okay. EOS, look at this tight range, trading in a tightly defined range. EOS looks pretty good, actually. I think it probably breaks bullish eventually. That's just my guess. ETC looks weak. But a little bullish divergence with the on-balance volume. That will get my attention. We're going to keep an eye on that. Yep, that's something worth watching for sure. Ethereum, trying to put in a higher low. Some nice loading volume. 12-hour looks pretty decent here. That's the Coinbase one. We've already did Ethereum. Let's go right to Fun. Funfair. Really nice heavy loading volume here. We were able to make a new high, but we have a Gravestone Doji from September 18th. So, you know, it's had a nice move, and of course we have the EMA 34 cross. But you've already gone pretty far. It's already giving you almost 50% move. So I'd kind of want to wait and see how this settles down. If we continue to break through this level, and especially if we can close, or we can break above right here, the high here, like 275, that would be impressive. So I would keep an eye on that. Nothing to see there. Pretty weak, not interesting. You know, I just like to scroll through, guys, and then it just, you know, you get into a good practice of doing it. You want to try to find setups that make sense to you, that look right, and especially if you study the candlesticks, I can get a pretty good sense of the health of something. Like this looks okay. Maybe it's trying to bottom, but I mean, this area here, you know, the last like week or so kind of looks like this. So not really that good yet. GVT. So it's possible we are putting a lower high here. Looks like we are. We have a higher low here, MA20 middle Bollinger. But there's some nice buying. There's still some bulls here. Look at that, the higher high in the OBV. This definitely could make a higher, another leg. So I'd be watching the EMA8 and the MA20 here, but I wouldn't be looking to get in per se. ICX. You know, it's okay, but look at the weakness. Looks like this was a pump. Internet of People. This is a pump and dump. On that, you know, look, there was some move that looks manufactured rather. And it's on the tail end of that. We're just going to keep scrolling through here. Nothing really there, you know, so I just keep going through. I just keep hitting that down button on the keyboard. And, you know, a lot of times I still have lines set up from when I've looked at stuff in the past. Why do I have this one up? I can see KMD is struggling with a very important resistance area. Excuse me. So if this can ever break out above and start to close above, you know, that would be worth looking at. You can see how weak the on-balance volume is. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. Really tight range here. LBC. This is one that will probably pump at some point. Looks like someone can definitely pump this. I think this is worth a look here. Lend, nice move. A little bit of pullback here, trying to rally at the middle at the EMA 34. This one may have some continuation. It looks pretty decent. Link, big volume yesterday. And so it's notable. So you can see this big volume candle. You look at the next candle, there's not a lot of selling here. So that's interesting. People loaded here. I mean, that was a load. Where's the dump? There hasn't been a dump yet. So that's worth keeping an eye on. You know, that's something that should stick out. You should kind of pay attention to. I'm always looking at the follow-up candle to see. Let's see here. Okay, LSK looks all right, but clearly downtrending. LTC, maybe you can do an inverse head and shoulders. Maybe not. We have this beautiful piercing pattern from the 12th. Trying to get a higher low, hammer candle. I really just watch this candle here, especially the low of the candle. This is LTC BTC, so that would be 80.94, and pretty much the same, I think, for the USD pairing. We really want to watch the low of this candle, which is $50.42. Inverted head and shoulders potential. Let's move on to LUN. Potentially 834 EMA bull cross here. This one looks okay. Certainly worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, I kind of like this one. I would definitely be keeping an eye on this one. All right. All right. Mana, not so much. Not a lot of volume. You want to see volume, right? Because that gives you a little more strength in whatever signal you're looking at. Just going to kind of scroll through here. I mean, you can see this one. It's like seeing, you know, it's like a big pump, and then you see the pullback, and they pretty much all look like that. Trying to hold support. Lower highs, higher lows. Equilibrium pattern. I like Nano. I would definitely be watching Nano. I'm going to summarize, by the way, guys, at the end. I'm going to post, when I post this video just for you guys on Bitcoin Live, I'm going to post like a summary of what coins or tokens you guys should keep an eye on that I liked. You know, this is kind of how you can get a sense of what I do. A lot of people ask me, how do you keep an eye on all these tickers, and how do you do it? And it really just, you decide when you want to sit down and you want to scan, and you decide what time frame you want to look at. You know, I find that the shorter time frame I go, the easier it is to make a mistake. You know, like I've made a 1 hour mistake. I feel like you can make way more mistakes than on like a 1 hour chart. You can make way more mistakes than like a 6 or 12 hour chart. All that volatility is smoothed out. Like right here, it's pretty easy to play. You can see clear resistance line. If the price were ever to break that, you know, that would get your attention. Just kind of scrolling through here, nothing really that interesting. And I just get to the point. Now this is interesting. You see how strong the on-balance volume is. This one is a potential candidate for continuation. A little bit of selling, but not a ton of selling there. I just like that for the strength of the OBV. You know, power looks okay too. That one looks okay. Let's keep going. PPT. QKC, look how strong the on-balance volume is as the price is approaching a retest here of an important, let me get rid of this, of an important resistance area. So let's get rid of that. Okay, yeah, you can see this is a key area. It was support back here in August. Resistance here in September. Played with it once, unable to break it, potentially rallying here at a logical support area. This is definitely one worth watching. That's interesting. I like that one. You know, because it's like it's knocking on the door. It's going to knock on the door again, especially if this higher low holds. Like if this support level holds here, even if it rejects, it comes back, and this support holds. I mean, this is a decent candidate to watch. QSP, you know, this is certainly, its volume is interesting to me. This is kind of some heavy loading volume potentially. I would want to circle back to that and see how it plays out. Double bottom potentially on QTUM. Nice bullish consolidation in RDD. Almost a symmetrical triangle consolidation using the candle wicks. We are still holding the EMA 34, that yellow line. Still closing above it, but there's not a ton of volume. I want to just zoom out here and see for a little context. Yeah, this is certainly one. Keep it in. I would definitely keep an eye on this one as well. Let's go here. Check out salt. Yeah. It's okay. Let's get a little, zoom out a little bit, get a little more perspective. It's important to kind of, there we go. That's about the right amount of candles for me. This gives me back to June, like a 3-month here in the 12-hour. That's okay. So potential for bullish consolidation here, falling wedge, bull break. So we could be in the midst of a bull flag or a bull falling wedge break here. Steam, okay. I'd say we keep an eye on that one. Well, actually, hold on. Storm, look how strong the on-balance volume is. Yeah, look how strong the on-balance volume is. And this is some nice heavy volume, loading volume. I like this. You know, kind of a double bottom potential as well. I think this one is worth watching, guys. Let's see. Weak. Yeah, it's okay. This one looks pretty good, actually. Theta. I mean, it's weak. I mean, it looks good, the OBV and all that, but there's really no volumes here. So I don't really care about this one. I'll just skip it. TNB looks okay. Like the volume. TNT had a pump. It's coming back. You know, this would be a logic. It would make sense for it to find support here and to bounce here. Look at that. TNT. Because these are the highs. This was the resistance from August 29th area. And then it's right at this area here around 15, 16 support. So, you know, you might see like a dead cat bounce here, potentially. TRX, right in that channel. It's in an important area here. We are seeing some nice buying, but we are going to continue to watch our resistance right here. I wouldn't be entering a trade or anything, but it's consolidating. It looks okay. Tube, this looks like it wants to continue. That's what's crazy. Look at that on-balance volume. It's really strong. The price has been holding the MA20 on the pullbacks, EMA 34 here in the 12-hour. Not a ton of selling in between this buying. So this looks pretty good. I mean, you could just draw a line here in the bottom, line here in the top. We're within that almost a broadening wedge. Let me just wrap it up. I think just a couple more here. 1 second, I have a phone call. Apologize. All right. So UKG, whatever. Let's keep going. Weak. VET looks decent, holding support. VIA looks weak. VIB had a pump. You know, it could hold there. I could see it holding here. Vibe looks dicey, but it could be flattening out here, some type of a rounding bottom. Wabi looks okay. Won looks pretty weak. Weak. Yeah, it looks okay. I like the volume on wax here. That's interesting to me. Look at this volume candle we just finished. This is worth watching. Look at this one right here. See, that's the largest volume candle since August 16th, actually. So that should make it worth watching. Let's see. Oops, don't want to skip WTC. Looks pretty weak, although the OBV is strong. Still have lower highs. XLM. Look how weak that on bounce volume is. Kind of like BAT. You know, clear resistance to watch here. These dual highs from September 11th and the 19th here. XMR looks decent. Consolidating. We have an equilibrium pattern. Higher lows, lower highs. I think this one's worth watching, actually. XMR. That would looks like an equilibrium. Let's go here. XRP, tweezer, top on a very overbought RSI, short-term bearish. XVG trading below important resistance. Weak ZCL. XCC. ZIL. That looks okay here. Maybe trying to find a bottom. Definitely if we continue to see these higher lows hold. ZRX looks pretty weak, unfortunately. Continued rejection here, EMA 34. Where are we trading, though? We have this logical support area I'd highlighted from a long time ago, like 7,200 from this prior level, where it was resistance back in March, twice in March. So we got to hold this level, and for now, we got to start putting in some higher lows on ZRX. You know, that's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing this scan. I'm going to try to do this as often as I can so you can get a sense of what I'm thinking. This is a little bit more longer format, and this is exclusive. I'm doing it just for you guys, and I hope it helps. Please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter if you guys have any questions, and we'll take it from there. Big Chad's out. Thank you.